Sorry, gang. Little tech issues here with Game Over Edmonton. Sorry. We'll go back and we'll. Oh, sorry, gang. We'll restart that intro.
Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
All right, there we are. Game Over Edmonton is live, and the Edmonton road trip in the southeast. Another loss for the Oilers. This time a 4-1 loss to Tampa Bay. Another game in which the Oilers had a good start, had an okay start. Leon Draisaitl gets his league-leading 43rd of the year. Still on pace to be Mr. Rocker Richard, on pace for his first 60-goal campaign as an Edmonton Oiler and in the NHL. But beyond that, this Oilers team just couldn't get much of anything else going on. They weren't great defensively. They weren't getting solid chances. They weren't able to find a way to get to Andrei Vasilevsky. And now they go into Florida losing 4 games in a row. And again, I've said it before in the last show, there were too many passengers. It happened again and again and again where only 2 or 3 players were really making an impact on the ice. And once again, the Oilers failed to generate chances. They failed to get momentum. And this team played on their heels again in a game in which, well, we'll get into the line combinations later on. We'll get into who was scratched, who didn't play. But, man, this was a team that could have used some Jeff Skinner. They could have used a touch of Jeff Skinner in this lineup tonight. I believe they could have. And again, after the Four Nations face-off, I keep saying it, I've said it again, this team has played like the break didn't end. And it's not a good thing. But before we continue, you know what you gotta do? You gotta shift into hyperdrive and get ready to have fun with your new source for all the biggest stories in hockey, bringing a fun, a unique flair, and a Quebecois passion to hockey. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, the big stories, pop culture, and a fun atmosphere just for you, with plenty of debate to make you think and more. Join Max Van Hoot, Daphne Melbouf, and Kevin Larme every Monday and Thursday for your fill of the hockey world. And watch on YouTube, on the Game Over Network channel, or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. And make sure you head to the GameOverNetwork.com for more. Make sure you tap into Hyperdrive Hockey, our flagship show, and they get a lot of Oilers talk on Hyperdrive Hockey. They get into the Oilers quite a bit. I've been on there now twice. I've talked about Evan Bouchard. I've been on Hyperdrive Hockey defending Evan Bouchard, but overall, this game just was not a good game in terms of chances, helping out Skinner, Stu making the saves when he needed to. He wasn't great as well. And yet, this team looked sluggish, but just slow. What this team wants to be right now is, to me, a little bit confusing. And again, the consistency just isn't there from a team that wants to be a cup contender once again, that wants to get back to a Stanley Cup. Remember, this is an org that was in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, and right now this team looks a tad bit lost, which can't happen, which cannot keep happening over and over and over and over and over again. But I was encouraged to see Matt Savoie be aggressive, get promoted up in the lines here. I like to see Matt Savoie. He's not afraid. I mean, yes, there were times where he did make a mistake here and there, but I like the fact he's not afraid. He'll take a risk by the net. He's showing, hey, I deserve to stay in the NHL level, and if I make a mistake, you know what? It it is what it is. It's a part of the learning experience. And that's a really good sign for a guy like Matt Savoie to be aggressive, get up into play. And you saw Leon Draisaitl trying to find him. You can tell Leon Draisaitl likes playing with Savoie on his line in this league. And I want to see Chris Dahlblock explore those two more on the same lineup. I want to see Chris Dahlblock explore that more as a head coach, because you see potential there for Matt Savoie as a top 6 forward, or at worst, a top 9 guy comes to the playoffs. But beyond Dry Savoie is another game in which you wanted more. You wanted more again from guys beyond like Zach Hyman. You wanted more tonight from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You wanted more from your big guns, and you just didn't get it again, which is disappointing to see when this team needs more firepower when you're going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. A dang good team. We know that. We know how good Tampa is and has been for quite some time. You can't go in having a slow start against the Lightning. They'll make you pay. A John Cooper coach team will always find a way to make you pay. And if you have any comments, questions, please hit us up in the Game Over Network YouTube chat. Let me know. Or if you want to hit me up on Twitter, on Blue Sky, please feel free to hit me up there on both. I'm on there at Avry on both. I'm easy to find enough on Blue Sky and on Twitter. There aren't many folks who have just Avry as their username or their handle. So hit me up on there. And also, make sure you support not just me in Edmonton, but make sure you support our team all across the country. Support Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Ottawa, Winnipeg. We're a network of 7 shows. And make sure, support Hyperdrive Hockey. Make sure you give everybody in this network some love, support. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, share, tell your friends. We're doing work here to try and rebuild independent media in the sports world in Canada. It's hard work, but somebody's got to do it. It's hard work, but we enjoy doing it though. So, and again, the game in which tonight's game, and again, we talk about sluggishness and what Tampa can bring. Tampa again is just too deep for you to not bring your best. You see, Mike Mosimann score, Brandon Hagel scores. Tampa rolls deep when it comes to the forward core and the D core, and Victor Hedman stepped up as well too. That is a too good of a coach team to really think of playing at half speed, thinking of, not half speed, but thinking you're going to be able to play sluggish and find a way to win. It won't happen. It truly will not happen. Edmonton, they paid for it, and now you're going into Florida, another Cup final rematch, and the Panthers aren't going to show you any mercy. That's another game in which you want to find a way. You have to find a way to get a point, because the Pacific Division is getting tighter and tighter and tighter the more you see teams like LA and Vegas find a way to win hockey games. That's only the truth. That is only the truth in life. But you know what isn't as bad or isn't as ominous? Patreon. Looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across the country? If you have a few spare bucks kicking around, head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/GameOverNetwork. There, you'll find multiple offers and rewards and goodies helping us grow. There's extra access, there's looks behind the scenes of our network, there's benefits on Discord, merch discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, which we want that kind of stuff. And you can join us on special live shows. Yes, live in color, where you can interact with the hosts and so much more, because we want to make this network improve for you, the consumer. But hey, we understand sometimes times can be tough, so hey, if you can't spare a few dollars, don't worry, we got you covered. There's a free tier on Patreon to make sure you can still have some fun with us. And if you really want to help us, make sure, like I mentioned earlier, click like, subscribe on our YouTube, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app, and share our work on your favorite social media platform of your choice. So that's patreon.com/the Game Over Network for tantalizing goodies. Always fun for the family. Second period time now. I want to start off by saying, hey, Scotty Bowman, for 91, he looks good. For 91 years old, Scotty Bowman looks good. You saw at the intermission, Scotty, if you watch it on Sportsnet, Scotty Bowman talked to Gene Principe. Bowman is still a advisor for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Bowman looks good for his age. Bowman is not, he's still working in hockey, still doing things, still holding strong. So, although it was pretty funny to see how he was trying to be played off, you could tell how Sports was trying to get Bowman to wrap things up with Gene, and they are playing the music to hit the commercial, and Scotty is still going and going and going. I thought that was very funny, but you know what? Hey, that's live TV. These things happen. Sometimes, hey, it's tough to tell people at times, hey, we got to go to commercial when they're deep in a story. And I'm sure that was interesting in the production truck during that segment. That'd have been a very, very, very funny situation there. But you know what? Hey, that's live TV. Things happen. What can you do? What can you do? That's life. That is life. So now the Oilers. I do want to take a look at some of the more of the advanced stats, which, as of right now, I cannot imagine they flower the Oilers in this game, in which, once again, and puck possession wasn't the greatest, watching them have the turnovers they had, not capitalizing on their chances, and Tampa just straight up took advantage. Tampa Bay took advantage. And again, on the man advantage, the Lightning took advantage of Oiler mistakes. Tampa got a 5-on-3 power play goal. The penalty kill still is not what it needs to be. Where'd that penalty kill go from last year? Last year's penalty kill, I don't know what happened. Maybe it moved away. Maybe it now lives in the Yukon or Brunei. But that penalty kill is in trouble right now, and that's not a good thing when you've got 24, 25 games to go. That part of your special teams has to get cleaned up in a major way, and fast. And fast. Oh my gosh, let's dig into that a little bit further, because the penalty kill in the past few games for the Oilers, well, actually, this season in general, has been an Achilles heel for this team. It really has been. Tampa, 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. And Edmonton had 18 giveaways. 18 giveaways tonight for the Oilers. 18 giveaways. That can't happen against the Lightning? That's got to be sorted out. You cannot hand out that many turnovers. You are not the Pillsbury Doughboys. Hoo-hoo! No! I could not believe that. Almost 20 giveaways by the Oilers tonight in this game. The puck security has to improve against Florida. It truly has to. And looking more in the stats here again, you see how beyond what I saw with Draisaitl and Savoie, McDavid got a point, Bouchard got a point on the power play goal from Leon, in his 43rd goal of the year. Excuse me. And Leon also scored in his 6th straight game. Among the Oilers team, we saw a lot of zeros. To quote the old Raptors head coach Sam Mitchell, I saw guys here to score lines with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. A lot of these guys didn't step up when called upon. And usually, these are your guys you need to. Guys like not a good game for Connor Brown or Zach Hyman or Kasperi Kapanen or Corey Perry. This is a game in which you gotta look at yourself and say, dang, that's when we gotta flush. Ryan Nugent Hopkins as well. And we mentioned the lack of shots again. I said it before in the game against Philly and against Washington. In that third period, the Oilers only had 5 shots. 5 shots in the third period. Not enough traffic on Vasilevsky. That is nowhere near enough to get yourself back in a game. 5? 5! Let that sink in. Let that sink in now. That's not good. No, sir. So, 0-3 on this road trip. This team had to find a way to get at least a point. At least 1 point to show a level of, hey, they're going to work themselves out of this slump. And you know what? They probably will against Florida or against Carolina. But you, just for the morale and the confidence, you wanted to at least get a point. At least take this game to a 4th period. But nope. 'Twas not the case. 'Twas not the case tonight. And we'll try and see if there's any post-game content from the Oilers websites. We can get you some post-game thoughts from Chris Knobloch and others in case you missed something may come on the broadcast. But I do want to see just what the thoughts of this team was in a game in which we talked about, and they said themselves all year long when they've gone to their mini slumps here, they mentioned themselves how it's a matter of cleaning up the little issues, cleaning up little things. But when you say that and you keep making those little mistakes, at times it can ring hollow in certain aspects when those mistakes get made once again after you keep saying, yeah, we're going to clean those up. We know what to clean up. That's tough. And don't get me wrong. The guys in that room, they feel the same way as well too. They know that. They know they can't make those mistakes over and over again. And it's going to be frustrating when you tell your teammate or you tell your fans or you tell the media, we know what to correct, and those mistakes still happen. You're pulling your hair out because it's going back to doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. So that is tough. It appears. Yes. So we do have Chris Knobloch audio. We can try to go to that in a second here. Where it's possible. And we'll try. We'll make an attempt. Oh. Oh, sorry, gang. You're seeing a Vlad Guerrero fake stat right now. That's not what you want to see. There we go. All right, let's get you to Chris Knobloch right after the 4-1 loss. Yep. This will try. Oh. Oh, technology. Okay, I guess not. If we can't get the foul to actually open. Oh, that sucks. You know what? Yes, we can't get the foul to open. So we're just going to... We'll try it again a bit here. But yeah, we can't get the foul open for some reason. So we'll stick with the analysis here. We'll keep talking. Because I'm not sure what's going on with that one. But yeah, the file is not working. Which, that's unfortunate. I did want to see or share the audio with Chris Knobloch. that. Everything that could go wrong will go wrong with me right now, but is what is. Let's head to the third period, but first, actually, yep, you know what? Yeah, let's go to the third period. But before we get to the third period, we got a note from our friends here from social media. Make sure if you're enjoying the show, you follow us on social media because, hey, you want more of this, right? We'll make sure to give you more content, and you got to make sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe on our channel, hit the notification bell so that you're alerted whenever a new episode of Game Over Edmonton goes live. And when you're listening to our podcast, make sure to give us a 5-star rating, or if you're feeling extra generous, write a positive review. And if you really like us, make sure to follow us on your favorite platforms on social media. You can find us on the Game Over Network on Blue Sky, at the Game Over Network, on TikTok, and on Twitter also too, at Game Over NHL, and on Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. And you can find me on Twitter at Avry, Instagram, Avry Sports. Those are my main ones. You can also find us on the GameOverNetwork.com, where you can sign up for our upcoming newsletter. Yes. All right, third period time. And if you have any comments, questions, please let us know below, or we'll wrap things up early here because, hey, this is a game in which, do you really want to replay this too much in your mind if you're a fan, if you're a consumer? Be honest. Be honest. I think I solved our issues here. I think I did.
Chris, it was a decent...
Okay, yes, we did. Okay, it was a keyboard issue. Yes, so we'll jump into head coach Chris Knobloch. Yeah. Ooh, I was worried for a second there, but yes, we got things sorted out now in terms of the video problems. All right, so here's Chris Knobloch.
Chris, it was a decent start for your club here tonight. What ultimately kind of started shifting the momentum in favor of Tampa?
Turnover in the neutral zone. Obviously, they capitalized on that right away, and then we're a fragile group right now, and we just a little reluctant to play our game, and confidence is a little hard right now.
How do you get out of that fragility as a group?
Yeah, it's just got to put those things behind you, and I think we haven't gone through this tough stretch right now for a while, and if there's going to be a time, this is an excellent opportunity. And, we're not playing our best. We're playing some really good teams, so we can't be not at our best to win and not expect to win those games.
It seems amazing that a team that's been through what your team's been through can be fragile, right? That goal goes in, the second goal, and your team is, you can tell, it changed your team. How does it, does it speak to confidence? What does that speak to? That even this team could be fragile.
Yeah, I think everyone's a little discouraged, a little hard. Obviously, they put a lot of pressure on themselves to win, and they view themselves as one of the best in the league. And we got to put those adversity moments behind us and grow on those and be able to respond and push back.
What did you think of that second goal? It seemed like a turning point in the hockey game. The goalie doesn't get across perhaps fast enough. Your defenseman doesn't play it hard enough. What do you see as a coach?
Loose puck, just east-west. I'm not saying it's a terrible goal. It's one you want him to make more times than not. But I think he made a lot of big saves tonight. The second one, it was tough, especially at the time of the game. I thought we come out against a team that's playing really well right now in their building, 1-1. And then that happens the first shift. It's deflating.
Get better for that. But all that being said,
Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch.
Chris, it was a decent...
All right, and that was the Oilers' first 4-game losing streak since November 2023. So under the Knobloch era, losing streaks of this long have not been a thing. They really have not been since the switch from Jay Woodcroft to Chris Knobloch. And we'll actually jump to, we got post also to with Matthias Ekholm. So we'll get to Matthias and we'll get to your questions before wrapping things up here on Game Over Edmonton.
Matthias, it was a pretty good start for your club here today. What kind of tilted the ice in favor of the home squad?
I don't know. I think we're in a bit of a hole right now as a team, and it's about resiliency. It's about sticking with it. We're going to have to dig one out here sooner or later. But as you said, I thought we got off to a good start, but I think we're at times giving them a little bit too easy offense. They're coming with a lot of odd man rushes, and that's something that we're going to have to limit. We're going to have to make plays out there. There's going to be mistakes that happens, but making sure we're on the right side of things and not giving up as much as we are right now.
Do you feel like this team has to change its approach in order to, as you said, dig yourselves out of that hole?
Absolutely. We got things to work on, no doubt about it. But then you look at we're giving up way too many chances. We're giving up way too much zone down time for their offense too, right? Like sometimes it's about chipping it out. Sometimes it's about live to fight another day. And it's one of those things. We're in that funk right now, and it's going to take just a gutsy effort and an ugly one, so to speak, that gets us out of it. But right now we're not there.
What do you make of Stuart Skinner's battle level tonight?
Yeah, he always battles hard for us for sure, and it's one of those things right now. It's the whole team that needs to just get to the 111, whether it's Stu or our D or our forwards. It's collectively.
You guys, you start the season slow. You weren't great coming out of Christmas, and the break here, you've not been happy with your game coming out of the break. There's a common thread there. What is it that breaks in this team? You have a hard time firing it up again somehow.
Well, if I knew, I would stand up in the room and say whatever we need to do differently. I'm not really sure about it. Obviously, there is a common theme to it this year, which hopefully we can dig ourselves out like we did in the start. But as of right now, it's on us as a team to bury our heads and work hard and make sure we do the little things correct every single day. And little by little, we'll get better as a team and start winning again.
Is the second period right now kind of the most challenging period? If you fall behind by a goal or two and then you're trying to use all that energy in the third to get back into it?
Yeah, for sure. But you look at it tonight too, like it's just one of those things right now. And right now it's not going our way. I think, that second goal is a funky goal. I don't know how he got in. I think Stu maybe want that back. And you look at that third goal, Janmark goes down, Curry just want to block a heavy one-timer, and somehow he goes off of something. It bounces off the ice, off the glove, in the net. So, yes, the second period has to be better, and we have to try to, limit our defensive zone time. But at the end of the day, too, somebody told me once it's usually never as bad as you feel like when it's going bad, and it's never as great as it feels like when it's going great. So somewhere in there, we're just going to have to learn from what we did tonight and move on.
Will the day off tomorrow probably be a good idea, as opposed to practicing some more?
I think so, for sure. Yeah, it's been a lot of skating lately, and we've been practicing in between, and we've had 3 and 4. So I think our bodies will use that day and be ready for Florida.
All right. So there's Matthias Ekholm. As mentioned, the Oilers are getting a break. Tomorrow is a day off. So, won't be on the ice tomorrow. They'll get a day to relax, recalibrate, and try to figure things out, which right now, this team has to just take a little break in some things and just sort out what's gone wrong on this road trip and what's gone wrong coming out after the Four Nations face-off, which you want to see this team have a little bit more jump, and they've had virtually none. They are getting the saves they need to get. Too many turnovers. The forwards, save for 2 or 3 names, haven't looked that great offensively in the forecheck. So we'll see how things change after a day off if they do turn things around before they get ready to play the Florida Panthers. But until then, That's all for me from Game Over headquarters in Edmonton. I'm Avry Lewis-McDougall. Thank you all for tapping in with me. It appears to be no questions today, so we'll... let me just double check if there's any questions for Game Over. It doesn't appear to be any questions tonight for overtime. So we'll just jump into the outro. Until next time, I'm Avry. Enjoy your evening. Oilers fall 4-1 to Tampa Bay in a frustrating affair. Peace out. Later.